Okay.
So we are recording now. I'm gonna roll the intro.
Or a little. What a way to start.
It's that opening. It's that opening.
Yeah.
What was Randy making the sound effects?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Adds to it.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey guys, it's me, Lola, here with GeekGasm, and I am joined by a few people tonight, and we got special guests. So why don't we start with introductions? We got Varian, who's muted.
He's
And
just
below-
gonna wave.
Yeah, he's not talking. He's doing sign language tonight.
They don't pay me enough to talk on this show.
Underneath him, we got Randy.
I'm underneath Varian. Hey, everybody. This is Randy Zimmerman, longtime alternative independent publisher, award-winning commercial and graphic artist. I've been in this business for decades, and I have the wrinkles to prove it.
Yeah. And the gray hair.
And the gray hair.
And then next to him, we got our special guests for the night, Rory and Amanda Webb.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Excellent.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit before we get into your book?
We are a husband and wife, obviously. We make a comic called Legends of Aukera, The Ascendance, and we were picked up by Caliber Comics, which is a Michigan-based company. 2 years ago. So they've been publishing since then. And we have 3 volumes out, 2 through Caliber, 3 that we self-publish, and we're almost done with the 4th, which is the end of the series. So I illustrate it and Rory writes it. So it's like
Awesome.
we work well together.
A lot
I
of
actually
collaboration.
picked
Yeah.
I picked up volume 1.
Nice.
All
Did you
right.
read it?
I did read it. It is
Yeah.
good. I got to
Thank
get
you.
the next one to see what happens.
Oh, good. We got you hooked.
Yes.
That's the plan.
I have a question.
Oh.
Even though I'm not supposed to talk on this show.
Oh,
I
you
do
can.
have a question.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you guys will get into this, but the version she has is the former title of The Ascendance.
Yeah. Is it? Can you hold it up again? Because I'll be able to tell which one it is. Yeah, that's our self-published one, which we did before we hooked up with Caliber. So there's still, there's still a couple of them. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Yep. So those, we still have some of those. We sell those at Comic-Cons usually, but we haven't been able to do as many of those as we would like, but more for the future.
Cons, you mean?
Yeah. We haven't really gone out of state. We have 3 kids and they're 4, 9, and 11. So they're not old enough to be home by themselves. So it's like, it's hard. It's hard to like have 3 days off, with no kids and do a long Comic-Con. But
and they're right at that age where you don't want to leave them home.
Yeah.
And you'll worry constantly if you leave a babysitter.
Exactly.
Yeah. You'll come back to a destroyed house and the babysitter tied up and gagged.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
I know how it goes.
So what made you change the name of it?
We, I think it was Caliber thought that it would be a little easier because we have other stories planned, like other comics. Okay. Basically, it's like Aukera is the world that it's set in, and The Ascendance is like one of the stories that we have written out.
Okay.
There's other ones, so it's just to make it more like cohesive. So it's not like 2 different titles. Yeah.
Right.
So tell us what the title's about. Give us your elevator pitch.
Oh boy, I'm gonna let you do it.
I'll let you do it.
It's good for the writer to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I guess let me lead off with this. Have any of you guys played Dungeons and Dragons? We'll start there.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, so just to give you a little bit of background on this is this story sort of came from a campaign that we did back in the day. So,
when we were dating.
Yeah, we had a 3rd edition just launched, and we had just started dating, and we decided, hey, let's
It was a good
run a
story.
campaign. So
Yeah.
we ran that campaign, and then as time went by, we kept doing more and more campaigns, and for a while we were just like, hey, why don't we do something with this campaign, and like, let's tell this story. So stories about this our main character here is Floziel. She is an elf. She's a sorcerer.
You might want to hold that title up
Closer.
closer to the camera, so folks know.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Basically, Floziel, she needs a job. She joins up with the Thieves Guild in the main city called Dagrum, and they are tasked with stealing this magical pendant. They get the pendant, but there's another guy named Jareth. He's a pretty powerful wizard himself. He's after it. He's been after it, and then all kinds of chaos ensues from him trying to get that. And you find out why he wants it so badly in the second volume, I think, is when you find out a little backstory. So
I
there.
definitely have to pick
it
up.
yeah. We'll just send you one or something. We've got some here, so get your address.
Awesome.
Send it along. Yeah. So that's kind of like a longer pitch.
And there's a lot of backstories with some of the characters, and as the story goes on, they sort of develop this little team that sort of gets into this mess, and they sort of move on from there. But some of the characters we actually your character was the main character. So
I know it sounds nerdy, but she was my first D&D character ever. So obviously I have a little bit of a, she's my girl. But, changing a D&D campaign to a comic, we had to basically change a whole bunch of stuff just to make it more streamlined. Because if you've ever played D&D, it can like go way off the rails.
Whole lot of shenanigans.
I would think that when I started playing D&D,
unmute yourself.
Yeah, you're allowed to unmute yourself.
For now.
Yeah.
When I first started playing D&D, a friend of mine introduced me to it, and I created a character. And you really do that. For me, especially, I got
you get attached to him.
Attached to that character, yeah. To this day, I'm still like attached to her. I drew her a few times. And I don't know why I played a chick. I think I just wanted an excuse to draw like a half-naked woman.
Well, yeah. I mean, is a good excuse.
She's gonna
I get it. Yeah.
Which class is the least amount of clothes?
What was she?
She was a
nudist.
No,
that's a new
I've
class.
Never played that class.
Yeah. She at first I wanted her to be an elf, but then, like he told me the elves didn't make like they couldn't fight very well. They were very good. There was something about their stats I didn't like.
Yeah.
So I just made her a fighter. Just as a warrior.
Chainmail bikini. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't do the chainmail. I did.
No.
I think I did cloth, but she was. It's funny because it was me in a female body, which made her really unattractive to me.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'd be attracted to myself as the other sex. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she's. I mean, I remember the funniest thing I think she did was I went to a town and really pissed the townspeople off, and they were chasing after me, and I decided to run into a church in y'all sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, they can't come in here.
Can't get me here.
Yeah. He said, "Are you really doing this?" That's what he's my DM. He's like, "Are you really doing this?"
Yeah, I'm really doing this.
Yeah.
You got to do that wild stuff in D&D. That's what makes it fun.
So, we had another. We had a couple on. We should have did like Valentine's Day couples who were working together. Maybe next year.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
But as a husband and wife team, do you guys like pitch each other ideas throughout the day? Like, oh, by the way, I had this idea.
Usually it's Rory. He's like, I was thinking about this at work, and he'll start going like, I think we should do this for the next portion or whatever, and we'll kind of talk it through. And so that happens a lot. And then I have the script all the way written for this series, but we're gonna hopefully do like a sequel after it, so he'll have ideas about that. But we've had to change even as we've been working on it, and like it helps to sit down and especially with like big battles and like fight scenes, to like plan out each, because usually I'm a little bit looser, like, okay, the battle's gonna happen. I didn't plan out every panel, you know, and then when I get closer to like getting to draw that page, like, okay, I need your help, figuring it out. Yeah,
I know I probably drive her nuts because
yeah, he's a continuity guy too.
I went to college at Grand Valley for film and video production, so I'm, you know, very much like into the production side of things, and you know, done some short films and all that fun stuff. But she'll start working on the panels, and we'll say, okay, this is gonna happen. They're gonna do this. I'm like, okay, well, where's the camera?
Yeah,
you know, she's like, what are you talking about?
Now I know all about the whole
well, you
movie rules.
So you're more than the writer; you're the director.
Oh yeah, he is.
I mean, sort of.
A lot, like some of the really crazy scenes. He's for sure the director. Like the low key stuff where people are just talking, I can do that fine. But like battle scenes, and like if I need, my phone is full of reference photos. Like if I can't get a pose right, I'm like, Rory, I need you to do this reference pose when you get home. So he'll like do the thing I need to do, and I'm like, I should put these on Facebook. And he's like, no.
If anyone ever found your phone, it'd be like,
there's some I mean, nothing really crazy, but just, you know, Rory being dramatic, you know, doing hand stuff.
Some reference doesn't need to be on the web.
Yeah. But it's really helpful. That's really helpful.
Cool.
I think that when well, the funny thing about that is that, and now you said it, when you but you being the director, should there ever be a Legends of Aukera film, the director should actually ban Rory from the lot, because what that means is that he doesn't need you over there telling him his job. Him and the and they'll be like, get that guy out of here.
He's trying to take over.
Hey, I know. Take them to the take him on a studio tour. You know. Studio tour.
Yeah. Get him out of here. Yeah.
A couple of, you know, 6 months later you come back. Oh, we're wrapped. We're
oh, what? Yeah.
We're wrapped. Yeah, I do think that I did a little film studying too, and I can, you know, I agree that trying to figure out where to put the camera at. When I'm drawing myself, I'm always thinking about where the camera needs to go, and I'm to the point now where I'll write it in my script. That probably pisses an artist if I'm not drawing it off. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, well, yeah. I've done a little bit of comic work that's not my own writing or Rory's writing, and it's way weird. Like, they want so much in one panel, and I'm like, I can't fit all that in there. You know, I'm used to using my own stuff, so
I think that's a pretty big challenge.
Yeah,
at least for me. I mean, I'm not quite as delved into the comic world as much as
that's
Amanda
more
is.
That's but more my thing.
It's definitely like that's a challenge. I mean, you're trying to show all this action and
have
stuff.
Word bubbles. Like half the time you're like drawing this really cool thing, and then it gets covered up by a word bubble. Like, all that work.
I spent an hour drawing that mug.
I know. I've gotten better at it. You know, the more you draw, like, you know where the word bubble is going to be more. Like, that was harder at the beginning, and now it's just like not a big deal. Like, definitely faster at drawing them anyways.
But at the beginning, I mean, we sat down for probably
lots of planning
over the course of like several weeks. And just sort of hashed out the story. Well, I think we gathered up all our documents and stuff, and we sort of like, okay, this is what happened in the campaign, and then we started to adjust it so it would make more sense. Just like, you know, you might adapt a book to a film, you might have to make some changes just because things don't always make sense as much. You know, it's sort of like that, hey, you had to be there to understand that in a D&D campaign, so what might be amusing or make sense might not quite be the same for somebody reading the comic.
Reading it,
But yeah, we made some changes, and I mean, there was some stuff that as we were going through. I mean, when did we start actually illustrating and writing the actual pages? I think that was
probably like, I want to say 2013.
I think so. It sounds
something
right.
like that. Yeah, is when we started working on them. Then we started doing Comic-Cons. I think our first one was 2015 when we like had our book we went through Kablam, I think, the first time publishing it. So,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we don't go through them anymore.
We did it once.
Yeah,
It was,
we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It was
remember-
fine for the first run, but
So tell us how you put the first issues together. How did because everybody's got a process, and nobody's is ever exactly alike. So how do you go through the typical book? Like on your first book, how did you learn to meld together and get the product done?
well, the first thing we did, like Rory was saying, we went through and we like fine-tuned what we wanted to happen when.
Mhm.
And then I wrote like the whole script before I even started drawing. But my goal was like I was working full-time at a bank when I first started. Now I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I get a little bit more drawing stuff done. But back then it was like, okay, if I can do 1 page a week, then I'll be keeping like on time with how much I want to get done. So I would, sketch it out. I started off on the comic pages, but now I do just digital because it's just faster. So I pencil it out and then I clean it up with inks and then I color it and then word bubble. Rory now does like the cool like spell casting effects because I'm not that great at that.
You're good at the
Photoshop.
special effects, Rory?
Yes.
I do some like
Sound effects?
graphic manipulation,
Yeah.
but not so much like the actual drawing. Just not quite.
So do you stay with because I haven't seen any of your interior pages. Do you stay with the standard sound effects? Splat,
Yeah.
squish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Or I'll be like, what do you think the sound of, a guy getting hit by an axe or something? I don't know. Like, what do you think it sound like?
Thwack,
Like
maybe? I don't
we
know.
use thwack. Yeah,
I
that's a
don't know.
typical
Thwack.
comic one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No in-depth studying of, say, Don Martin's work from Mad.
No, I'm not as
Okay.
familiar with that. I mean, I
Oh,
grew
the
up
youth.
reading comics. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, my comic start was like Jim Lee era X-Men comics. I was like totally into those as a kid. So yeah.
That's that one. Yeah.
Bring that page up, Lola. Hold on. There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the first ones.
I had to find a page that wouldn't give away like
Oh,
all the good
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
There's no kablam there.
No, I didn't put. That was like page number
No.
4 or something. That was like
Ooh.
super old. That's
Okay.
like I look at that, and I'm like, oh, that was so old. I could
Yeah.
do so much better. But yeah,
That was
Well, that's
actually
all.
page
That's
4.
all part of being an artist, though. So.
yeah.
I have a question for you, Amanda. You said it takes you a week to draw a page, which is pretty good. Because some people claim they can do a whole comic in a week.
Yeah.
It's better. It's better than a year.
Oh boy. Yeah.
5
I'm
years.
slow. I'm slow. Yeah, I'm slow.
Jab.
And
jab.
yeah, he's I'm gonna mute him in a second.
I told you. Didn't know why I was here. That's okay.
Oh, but he's good.
But I do
Yeah.
a page a week is pretty good, especially when you got so many other things to do, and
Especially
real
when you
life
have 3
starts
kids
to-
that you're trying to corral.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Now, Rory, how quick are you writing the scripts?
So, I would say my focus is more on sort of like the world building and the flow of events
Mhm.
more so than the actual dialogue. You actually
Yeah.
do more of the dialogue.
Yeah.
There's some things where I'm like, okay, well, so-and-so should probably say this at some
Yeah.
point, so that's, I guess, more of my expertise. is
Usually,
sort of-
like I'll finish the page, and then when I'm getting ready to start drawing the next one, like if there's like something that I think needs to be fine-tuned, we'll talk about it.
Right.
And he'll be like, "Oh, Jared should say this."
Well,
Yeah.
and really a lot of times too is like I actually won't look at pages like for like
As
10 at
I'm
a
doing
time.
them, yeah.
I don't, because I just sort of like to sort of be surprised, and you'll finish like a bunch of pages and then I'll just sort of go and look at them, and
Which is helpful because he'll catch
Right.
stuff like if I missed something.
well, I think it's important too to not be like, oh, so and so should be doing this, so and so, and just being like, up, like let her do her
all
thing.
up in my business.
And there's times where
yeah.
and I don't, I don't want to be that person, but I think it's, if there's something like I'll read through the pages and I'll be like, hey,
Yeah, he'll go.
there'll be like, I'm like, that
This doesn't look
this
right.
sword should be like actually over here.
and I'll be
or,
like, oh,
you know.
I have to redraw that. yeah.
But, I mean,
then at
yeah.
the end, it's like, yeah, you're right. Fine.
Yeah, but I'm not really, because again, we have that. We really go through a lot of it before we even started the process. So we were, pretty confident about like
what each page was
right.
gonna
And
have,
I like, there's not really a concern of where the story was going, but we have made some changes sort of, as we sort of think about it, or we're, I might be just thinking about something that's like 3 chapters ahead, and I'm saying, you know what, I really think, so-and-so should do this instead, or maybe this thing should happen to this character and
Instead
not
of
actually
somebody
this
else,
character, when that's how we wrote it. And there's, reasoning. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but there's some really big actually changes that we made, for different reasons.
I want to bring something to everyone's attention that I just realized. So we are recording, but apparently there is no way for me to record on Indie Vote Radio. So technically, we are live on Indie Vote Radio.
Oh, okay.
That's
which is
okay.
cool.
I'm down.
Which is cool. So if you're listening on Indie Vote Radio, right now that actual number, Randy, if people are listening right now, it's 28th of
yes, February 20th.
Of Friday. People are listening. It actually is 2,110 people listening on Evo Radio. So we really appreciate that. That's pretty cool.
We do appreciate each and every one of you, and thanks for listening in. Really,
we have a radio app.
This is an
Oh, cool.
impromptu recording here.
Yeah.
I guess impromptu live. Oh god.
I thought that I could. We aren't live visually anywhere.
Okay.
but on
Okay.
We're live
on the radio
audibly.
app. Yeah.
On the radio. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Well,
Nobody has to see my mug.
We all have faces for radio anyway.
Yeah. exactly.
Yeah. So apparently, I just learned a lesson that I can't.
So what's our country of choice today?
Today, actually, it looks like we have France again.
Ooh.
France, Italy, Japan, Brazil, and Mexico.
Dang. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
and then the
appreciate
United
you all
States.
for listening in.
Yeah. And the reason what tipped me off to that is that I got a question from Indie Radio. So,
Cool.
yeah, when you guys are working together, is there ever a point where you fight and like, I'm not working with you right now?
We have disagreements.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even say disagreements, but we have
It's mostly I gotta admit this. It's mostly Rory like trying to tell me to do something like to make it better, and I'm just being stubborn because I don't want to do the work to fix it. And then I do, and then it's better, and then I gotta begrudgingly be like, yeah, you were right. Like,
Okay.
yeah. So that, but not like big fights.
no. But I
No.
mean, it is difficult to try to
Yeah.
be like critical of each other's work. Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be sometimes we're like putting together a story, and I'm like, well, I think it makes sense that they would do this, and she's like, nah, I don't really like that, and
Yeah.
we sort of have to, well, why? Well, like, why? I'm like, oh, you don't like it? No, no. But
I don't like your
there's-
ideas.
There's definitely some differences, and we do work through them, and I would say it's not
very often.
no, and I think a lot of it is because our talents sort of complement each other pretty
Yeah.
well. So I think that's a big help.
Yeah,
He's more like big world building, big picture stuff. I'm more into like, what would this character do? Like fine tuning the characters and like designing them, obviously.
And what's cool about that is you can, like, by him being focusing on the big picture,
Yeah.
you can do little small things as the artist that
Yeah.
maybe he won't look at, and then, like 5 issues later, you're like, oh yeah, I put this in there.
Yeah. Did you see it? Or
Of course-
like a surprise?
Of course, he'll
Notice
get
the
the credit.
magic spork?
Yeah.
He'll get the credit for it because
That was 3 issues
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
your label mate, let's say label in the Caliber, you guys are printing the Caliber. Randy, Randy, you got World
Oh,
of
what do
Worlds.
you do? What do you go through Caliber too?
Caliber's had a book of mine for years, War of the Worlds.
Oh, I think I've
okay.
seen
Read
that
it
one.
over and
I
over
am.
again.
I'm behind on like
Well, we'll have
reading
to pick that
my
one up.
to
If you
reading
ever
my
get a
calendar
chance,
stuff.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still really happy with the way it was written, but it was written, man. I don't even want to admit it was written 20 years ago.
Well,
Hey, that's
Yeah.
not
20 years ago was not
Not
that
that long.
long. Like you think
no,
about
it
it.
doesn't seem like it. But the
That's
artwork for that
2000.
was done by Horace, who is a amazing German artist.
Okay.
And
What-
we worked off a full script. I did a full script and
Yeah.
emailed it over to him, and then he sent back completed pages.
Oh.
He did
That's
his own
great.
lettering and everything on it. So.
Lola has said something about your 20 years ago, Randy.
What?
What'd you say, Lola? What's your
I
20?
was only 10.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow. Burn.
I'm always picking on.
So was I.
Yeah.
So was I.
Yeah, yeah.
I wrote it when I was just out of high school.
Yeah.
I noticed something that was really bad. We were talking about Star Wars the other night, and Lola says, "Let's start with the first Star Wars in theaters." Everybody's talking about going to see it. I'm like, well, I wasn't born yet. And then I
Yeah.
realized then I realized Lola's mom was 3.
Mm-hmm.
When the first Star
Oh,
Wars?
that
Yeah.
especially makes me feel old.
Well, wait,
Thank
that
you so
was
much.
what, like 70 something?
Yeah.
1970s?
Yeah,
Okay.
77.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a pervert. My wife's mother was 3. And then I realized that there's not much age difference between Lola's mother and me, so I could date either one of them. Anyway,
I know. It's best
You
not
don't
to
want
think
her.
about it.
That's a sour
Yeah.
apple.
Best not to think about that.
Yeah.
Randy, Monica will not work with you on a comic.
No, but that's because she's doesn't have enough confidence in what she does. So
You have to make her.
she's
make
an
her do it.
avid reader, though. She'll read. Oh, she reads about 20 times more than I do.
You can use Rory and Amanda and Carla and her husband, whose name I'm drawing a blank on right now. As,
Yeah, that won't stop.
no.
No.
She insists she doesn't have any good ideas, but I use her as a sounding board, and she's definitely my conscience. A lot of times, she's reeled me in on a lot of stuff that would have gotten me into a lot of trouble.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna do this. No, you're not.
Nuh-uh.
You don't want to do that because this and this will happen. Well, I guess so. Yeah, that'll happen. So.
You know, I've said before that if I'm the voice of reason in a situation, things have completely gone to hell.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah, once I become the voice of reason, it's like,
Uh-oh. Where is it gone?
yeah, we go back to that. Any crowdfunding for you guys?
We talked about it, but we're just not familiar enough with like
Yeah.
Kickstarter and all
It's like-
that. I feel like we need more of a following to like. I feel weird asking like, "Hey, give me money." You know, that's something I'd have to get over if we ever wanted to
Right.
do more.
Right.
But I mean, it's definitely an option, but we'd have to really research it, and that'd be kind of a long time coming. It would be cool to do like when we're all done with the Ascendance, like have like a big like omnibus or whatever
Mhm.
of all it, like fancy hardcover, but that'd be like, you know, that's like way down. Like that's
down the
like
road.
a
That's
dream
down the
job.
road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a real possibility, though. I mean, I've seen some amazing books come out from indie people.
Oh yeah.
There's been some crazy hardcovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
Really
lot
nice
of Kickstarter stuff that like comics especially that I've backed. So I'm like, maybe karma will come back around since I've
Yeah.
helped these guys, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some really good stuff out there. Like
Well,
web comics
So
and all that.
you were self-publishing, and then Caliber found you.
Yeah, when was that?
It
was at Grand Rapids.
Comic Con.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We met Andrea Molinari. I don't know if you
Yeah.
He is
We've had
awesome.
him on the
Yeah.
um,
Awesome
He's
guy.
the one that
On-
actually
on
put
the
me in
show
touch
before,
with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Indie
we
book,
were
yeah.
talking on Facebook, and he's like,
Yep.
"Oh, I want you to hook up with this girl. She does interviews and stuff." I'm like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
we need to get out there more and just do some different things, you know, get stuff out there." So
there's no better show to break your cherry on than
yeah, yeah. There you go. It's our first one, so I love it. But he met up with us at the con because he had a booth there, and we were both in the artist alley, and he
cool.
read the comic. Is like, I'd love to. You need to go talk to Eric, who's in charge, and so we brought him our books, and he looked them over, and then I think it was in November when the con was, and then that January it was like there was
a
like
couple months
contracts
later.
and stuff. And It's like, oh wow,
Yeah.
somebody likes us. Like they like us. They really like us.
I will tell you my first experience with Legends of Aukera. I have watched your booth transform over
Oh,
the
that's
last
all
couple
him.
of, yeah. So yeah. So that means that Rory and I need to have a fight.
Uh-oh.
Because I'll tell you
I
what.
thought you. Oh my dog's freaking out. I
dog
thought
heard
you
the
looked.
word fight
Yeah,
and he was mad.
she's
Yeah.
like,
You're
you're not
angry, I'm gonna fight him.
Yeah.
She is like, what the heck?
That's
Anyways,
how you're
I
gonna have
thought.
to go through me first, Mister.
Yes. I thought you looked familiar. What booth are you usually at? Like,
Well, I'm a publisher. I have a company called Last Call Comics,
yeah.
which has a ridiculously blinding light bar. It like
I'm
it's
trying
LED
to-
screen that goes
Yeah.
across. If I had a picture,
you're the guy.
yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
It's green and gold, and it's very tacky looking. But I got the beer theme. I got 2 tablets running videos of some of the comics.
Nice.
But every time like I'm walking around the show, and I see something, I'm like, huh, they've got lights.
Yeah.
They didn't have lights last time. Oh,
That was a big, yeah.
yeah.
That was his like labor of love. That turned out really cool.
Well, yeah, it looks gorgeous. And so when you got the light, I said, screw this. I'm getting some type of hard, like something with Last Call Comics on it. And so I already had the light bar, so I'm still working on something. So
Like a
keep
logo
on.
sign, yeah.
You keep on. Right now I got a vinyl banner, but keep on. I got you. I see you,
Yeah.
Rory. I see you.
All
I
right.
see you out there.
Well,
So next time
keep an eye out for
we'll
it.
look for you, and there better be a really cool light up sign.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, we were
I'm
his
like, I got off my
inspiration.
game.
Yeah. It'll be like when your neighbor gets something new to their house.
Yeah.
Oh
Cutting
yeah,
the
then
grass
you're
and you
like,
stop
all
and
right,
you look
yeah.
and you're
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll go over there. Lola, do you see what Rory did? He did it.
I know.
He did it to
What's
spite me.
next?
Yeah, he did it to spite me. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it. Yeah, I mean, we're all. It's really cool to see that though, in all seriousness, because it shows that everyone's taking their brand seriously.
Yeah.
There are people who come to the con. I'm not dissing those people to do this, but the people who come to the shows, they pull up their banners and
Yeah.
they set up, but it takes us a little while to set up and to break down.
Yeah.
And
That
Yeah.
dog begs to differ.
I don't know what her deal is. You want me to go look?
No,
All right. Yeah,
I'll check
I
on her.
think that our son like went in the basement or something, and she's freaking out about it.
we
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, you're fine.
We
Don't
got
worry
2
about it.
dogs,
Okay. Yeah.
We got.
but we got little dogs. Yours sounds big.
She's a rescue part pit bull, but she's a big
Okay.
like softie. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah. She doesn't usually bark, so I'm like, "What are you doing, you crazy?"
She wants
She knows you're
attention.
on the air.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait, how come none of your cats have ever showed up on air?
I'm not that kind of person.
No,
I'm a very private guy.
no one needs to see my cats. No one needs to see.
I'm not gonna pull out my pussy. No.
Yeah.
I don't know what that talks to.
Yeah, she's. I don't know. Whatever. She's quiet now.
Do you guys have any cons coming up in the future?
We don't know. We applied for Grand Rapids again, but weirdly we got waitlisted. So I'm like, okay.
Well,
But-
they're going through a bit of a transition with their committee. So
I
Make sure
didn't. I
make sure you
okay.
stay on. Make sure you stay on mark on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I sent an email just like, hey, just want to know why. If you could just tell us why. We've been doing this for 5 years in a row now, but at the same time, it's not like necessarily bad because it gets stagnant when you do the same con year after year after year. So
We've been talking about
Have-
doing some other ones.
yeah,
Have you been doing Grand Rapids since the start?
we didn't have a
No,
booth.
We attended
Yeah.
the first 2. I
The
think we
first
tried
2
to get
we
a booth
attended.
the
The one
second
that was in
year.
the gymnasium.
Yeah.
Yes, we waited
Wow,
in
that
that huge line.
That was something else.
Yeah,
That
but
was
we
a
only
blast,
had
wasn't it?
2 kids at that point, but they were little.
Yeah.
And we were all dressed up in cosplay
Oh,
and
yeah.
waiting in line just to walk around the artist alley basically like once and then leave.
Just
but
to
it
fight
was
your way through.
yeah,
It was pretty bad. Oh man.
it was very
real tight.
crowded. Yeah.
Yeah, I at that point I was doing a comic newspaper. So,
Okay.
and my brother had a R2 D2 unit. And
Oh,
he
geez.
went out on the line and wheeled the R2 out there in order to keep the crowd,
I think I remember seeing
nice and
that.
calm.
Yeah.
I was passing out the comic paper, going through, here's free
Yeah.
comic while you wait, free comic while you wait.
Yeah.
Because Mark had to turn away, like, I think it was 1,500 people that day.
Yeah.
That he had to
That was a
just
lot.
say, look, I'm sorry you're in line. You've been waiting in line, but we can't let you in because we're going to close.
Oh, man.
And
Yeah,
the,
and
the
then the
fire
next
marshal
year-
kept coming out with
Yeah.
with wristbands going, you can let this many in. So he'd catch them as they leave. Or you're
Yep.
not coming back, and he'd clip their wristband and only let so many people in because it was so crowded.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
my
got
That's
the
why he's in-
wristband thing. Yep.
That's why he's in the big arena now.
Yeah, it's a lot better now that it's at
Yeah.
It
Even
took
at
a couple of-
Deltaplex, it
Yeah.
was really
it
just
was
crowded.
at Deltaplex.
It took him a couple of places.
Mhm.
And now he's got crowd control. So.
Yeah.
You guys should come down at some point and do a Randy show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where are you
Yeah.
at?
We live in Grand Rapids, so
Oh, okay.
that's why
that's
Grand
all-
Rapids is like a 5-minute drive from our
Yeah.
house. So it's kind of dumb not to do it.
I do a
You
show
know?
in Flint and a show up in Saginaw, but it's only
Oh, okay.
one day show out of a farmer's market. So
Oh,
okay.
what is it called?
it's a lot of fun. The Flint Comics Con, it's down here.
I
in
think I've
Flint.
heard of that one.
And then the Saginaw Comic Con, we had one last year, and it was almost like the Grand Rapids show. We really underestimated
Oh,
Oh,
really?
the amount of
That's
people that were
great.
coming here. We had a line out the door and
That's
down
good.
the hall until like 2 p.m.
Wow.
dang.
we
Yeah,
were
we'll have to
still-
look into that one.
We were still pulling people in as fast as we could.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was there to take their monies.
Yes.
This year we'll have 2 people set up to take money, so
There you
we'll
go.
get them in faster.
Yeah.
Too, something really cool happened too at that show. Randy asked me to help with the art contest.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've never been given any responsibility like that, so I was a little mad with power.
Yeah.
And I was like, help with the art contest.
Oh, we
Destroy-
were analyzing everybody's art. It was awesome.
Yeah, like destroy some young artist's dreams. So why not?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I mean, that just comes with the territory. Yeah.
Mhm.
You gotta just get a thick skin.
It's like
Yeah,
let's
we
look at
and
the
we
money.
underestimated everything at that show because I was comparing it to the Flint show. This will be my 11th year this year up at Flint, our second year up at
Oh, wow.
Saginaw. So in Flint, you hardly get any cosplayers.
Aw.
We stopped doing the art show the art contest because we only had a few people bringing in art. But
Aw.
up in Saginaw, there was a ton of people, ton of art, ton of
Yeah.
cosplayers. We didn't know what to do with all of them.
Isn't
we had to
it's
parade 'em
weird
around the
how-
main floor.
Yeah, like it's so different and it's not that far away, you know? Like,
Well, we'll be spread all throughout the market this year up in Saginaw.
okay.
So it'll be a lot of fun. The folks at the market just had a blast. It was their biggest day that they've ever had at the market. So they've already had a superhero day up there in order to announce they had that in January to announce
Okay.
the date in June. And I've had people call in ever since we announced that when the new date was for this year's show back in
When is it?
November, December. I had people call and making sure they still had the
Yeah.
same table. They had.
What-
I still got my table right.
Your Flint show is
you know.
your
Flint show is April 18th.
and the
Okay.
Saginaw
Oh,
show
okay.
is
It's June 27th.
Okay.
Last Saturday in June.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be definitely, yeah, we'll have to look into that.
a
I'll have to get a link. Yeah.
question from IndieVille Radio. Would you guys ever consider working on a property that wasn't yours? Obviously for the right money.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Yeah, I guess I
guess.
never thought about it. I mean, I've done lots of fan art, so I would be all about doing, somebody at like I don't know, it'd be cool to do like Wonder Woman. I like Wonder Woman. Any freaking X-Men comic, I'd be like, oh my God, please. But it's I'm not up to date with X-Men now. Like
thank you,
mine are like the
stars.
90s version, that's my jam.
You don't want to be up to date with it right now.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I haven't
It's
really.
gone all wrong.
Yeah, just from what I've seen, like on articles and stuff, I'm like, this is not the X-Men that I like.
I'm probably gonna have to edit this part out, but
Uh-oh.
a guy on my Facebook liked the book so much that he pretty much snapshotted each page, or he screen captured each page and posted it on Facebook. So I read it like within like 5 minutes in bed, and it gave me IBS. So I woke up and I sent it to Randy.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Yeah,
I said, "Why are you sending me this for?"
Yeah.
And then
There's 22 pages, 5 pages of actual action in this book.
Yeah.
In that new
Everything else
X-Men
is
ones?
talking pages. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the rest of it is talking heads.
Yeah.
They
There's a time and a place for that, but I don't know
well,
about X-Men.
not on a lot of this, but
Yeah.
that's a whole nother story.
Wolverine and Scout are flirting with each other,
Yeah.
which is not
Oh.
a problem. I mean, like Wolverine's my favorite character. It's my favorite ever. But
Aw.
he's like I got a shrine of Wolverine in the
Yeah,
bedroom.
he does.
It's really sad, but
That's not sad. I get it. I get it.
but I listen, and I said this last night or Tuesday.
Is that rum again, Randy?
No.
Is that wrong?
No. It's actually vitamin water.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Being healthy.
I have a meeting with a client in the morning, even though it's Saturday. The only time they can meet is on leap year. So
Ah.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Wolverine can be
it's the only time the dimensional doorway opens and they can slide. over.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother story. You don't want to hear about that. Go ahead.
Wolverine can be gay. That's fine. If you want to
Mhm.
make Wolverine gay, that's fine.
But they're not making him gay. They're making him bi.
Okay, whatever.
Oh.
Whatever. If
He's
that, it
with
seems
Scott.
like that's what they're doing. It seems like
He's
that's what
with Scott and Jean.
but not with Scott.
Yeah,
Not-
I can't see him.
Not with Scott.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever they want to do. Like,
Makes you want to go back and reread the Claremont Byrne X-Men just to cleanse
yes.
yourself.
Like, is this
Yikes.
Not with Scott. Like,
Yeah.
listen, Gambit, perfect.
Oh, Gambit? Yeah, I could totally see that.
Gambit's a fuckboy. Why not?
Can you imagine all the like fangirls get? Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
I can
see,
see that.
look at her. She's flushing. Think about it. She's
I loved Rogue and Gambit when I was younger, so yeah, I got a soft spot for that.
They married them out. They married them off.
I knew that. I haven't
Yeah.
read those yet. I don't know
Yeah,
if
they-
those are any good, but
Now, I know a question Lola's gonna ask, and I'm gonna ask it for her.
You should probably let her ask it.
Well, go ahead and ask Lola. You're
This
gonna
is
ask
her-
her question about.
This is her program after
What
all.
is my question?
Well, I know you're gonna. I'm assuming you're gonna ask about. You're gonna ask Amanda about being a female in comics. But I'll let you ask it in your own way. Go ahead.
She doesn't do many cons, like she said. But
yeah.
do you ever get like harassed by like guys and stuff like online since you don't do many cons?
I haven't really gotten harassed. There was like sometimes I'm trying to remember. There was like this weird Facebook group I was in, or I don't know, it was like 6 or 7 years ago or something, where it was like they would post geek stuff and they wanted to get opinions from people. I don't even know how I got in that group, but somebody posted a Harley Quinn statuette thing. And they were like, "Oh, what do you think of this?" And she just like looked weird. So I was like, "I don't know. It doesn't look like Harley Quinn to me." And then some rando guy like sends me a Facebook message. That's Harley Quinn, like, mansplaining to me who Harley Quinn was. And I was like, I'm just gonna block this clown. Like, you get that like you gotta prove that you know what you're talking about. Like if you don't know every single thing about a certain character, then you're not a true fan. You're just like a fake geek girl. It's like,
Yeah,
fools, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old. I've been reading comics. Like, come on, I know more about it than you, I'm sure.
well, 6-7 years ago, that was the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a girl. Oh, well, let me explain comics to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, when I was younger, I'd go to my dog's going crazy again. I would feel a little awkward going into comic stores, as a teenager, because there weren't guys, or I mean, there weren't girls there. There weren't girls working there. There weren't girls shopping there. So it was sort of like that. Nobody ever said anything to me, but the atmosphere was like, you're not really welcome here. It's not like that as much anymore, though. Which is awesome.
I remember going into for the the longest time I was going to Green Brain Comics in Dearborn, and I remember when I would go in there. It was usually Dan and Katie who owned Green Brain Comics. It was always them, and then they would get somebody that would come in there and work occasionally, and then one day,
It's this
girl
is
showed up.
Is this a Heather Antos?
Yeah, this girl showed up, and that ended up being Heather Antos. And so it's weird because I've literally watched Heather come up from being a cashier at Green Brain or a sales clerk to being an editor at Marvel Now Valiant, and so it was weird.
Dang.
I will be honest though, walking in the comic store as a geek, and you seeing a girl,
Yeah.
that's pretty or whatever, and you're just a girl up here, you're like,
What? This is a novelty. Yeah.
and you go over there and you're like,
See, and for me growing up, I never really had that problem because one of the first comic shops that I walked into was Libbys up in Saginaw, and Libbys was run by a female. They owned by a
Oh
female.
wow.
So, but at the same time, Libbys was in a basement of a bookstore, and you walk down there and you get that must smell.
Yeah.
That must smell that you always associate with.
Yeah.
I do anymore. I always associate it with great comics.
Yeah.
You walk down there and sometimes you open the book that's been in the attic for too long, and you get that
smell.
It just takes me right back to Libbys. We're talking almost like a fruit cellar type of a situation.
Yeah.
Bricked up walls, and you
There's-
had to walk down the stairs and through the on the outside through the door, and you get that. Poof,
That
that
sounds very
smell.
comic book story.
Kind
Yeah.
of dingy and
Yeah.
a little dark, but that was okay. You were in there to get your
It's just
books
the
and-
atmosphere. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a store like that in Grand Rapids, Apparitions Comics. It's not there anymore, but
Well,
I
some-
spent a
sometimes
lot of
they're
money
the-
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of
Sometimes
money.
they're the best because you find
Yeah.
the oddest stuff in them.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before. I guess I'll buy it.
I guess going back to Lola's question, we do remember people have come quite often to the
Oh
table
yeah.
where they
At
assume
cons.
I'm the artist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They just assume.
They just assume.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Amanda's just the wife.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like just the booth helper,
Yeah.
like.
They'll be like, "Oh, I love your artwork," and I'm like,
And he's like, "Oh, actually, it's my wife did all that."
"She does
Like,
all the work."
he's always really good about it, but every once in a while, and most people are like, "Oh, and it's fine." But there's been a couple,
They're like,
douchey
they're
guys.
just weird.
They're-
They're like weird about it.
they'll talk to him. They won't like make
go,
eye contact
"Oh,
with me,
yeah."
or
Slowly, that mindset will change.
yeah,
It just
and it's
takes
been
a
getting better.
re-education. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been accused of, and maybe it's just me. I've been accused before of paying too much attention to the wives. Like, you can ask me a question like this,
Yeah.
I'm talking to your wife. She's clearly the brains of the operation.
I run the company.
I believe it.
I bet.
She runs Last Call.
He's the talent.
Apparently I shouldn't be running it anyway. So
There you go.
I should have be removed from EIC effective immediately. Now, Rory, have you had any close calls? Because I'll tell you this, and we won't go controversial here, but
Don't go controversial.
we're not
Yeah.
gonna go controversial. We're not.
And don't bring up any names.
I'm not gonna bring up any
We're not
names.
that kind of show.
I just want to know, like, recently, like, okay, because I like the fact that you and Amanda, you guys like comics, so you went and you got yourselves in comics. You dedicate the time, you put your money where your mouth was at, you kicked the door open and walked in. Well, there are some people who decide, oh, I really want to do this, but I don't know how. I'm gonna go to Comic-Con, and I'm gonna find a writer or an artist,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
gonna let them tutor me, and then when I get screwed over later, I'm mad.
Yeah.
Have you found anybody trying to maybe sneak a mentorship out of you guys at all?
I would say maybe
Not,
not a
like,
mentorship,
seriously.
but we've had people like they bring in like a folder of their
Yeah,
story,
like a
and they're like,
portfolio or-
I don't know if you'd be interested in doing other people's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
happens like
yeah.
probably just about every con.
Yeah, at least once a year, I'd say we have somebody, and it's like we don't want to discourage anybody because that's, it's about just telling a story ultimately. But, I mean, you can't fully rely on other people either. So, I mean, you really have to just sort of, make it happen. And it's like,
If you can't do it yourself,
Right,
then I
right.
don't know. You gotta.
and I mean, yeah, you can pay somebody to do it, and that's fine too. But
It's pricey.
I guess if like I don't really draw, not like not well enough to do a comic, but you know, fortunately we've got that skill set and we're married and we have the same interests and whatnot. So, but this story is not just one thing where it's not like, oh, this is my story and you're gonna draw it. This not like that at all. So it's our story, and I would suggest anybody who's sort of trying to get into that, you know, try to find somebody that, you know, maybe you've written a story, but maybe you can team up with somebody who loves to draw and you guys can write a story together, or have some sort of buy-in from that artist to maybe get some ideas in there too, because they probably have ideas too. So, and I mean, it's a tough situation, but I mean, it's, you know,
just gotta like
it's all about that collaboration.
Put them down gently. Like, I'm too busy doing my own thing. You know, sorry. Yeah.
I looked through the book. I didn't get a chance to read it because someone was hogging it. But like, don't lose my place. But I definitely want to check it out.
It's a good book.
Thank you.
And you've gone through 4 volumes?
No, we have 3 finished.
Yeah, here's 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna
zoom it in.
Yeah.
This one, the pirate looking one, that's volume 2, and then that. Oh,
it's backwards. I don't know what I'm holding.
And that's the 3rd one. We just recently finished that. I think it was like a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago.
So, and I'm working on the 4th volume, which will be a little bit longer because it's the end of this.
The end of the story.
Part. Yeah, the arc, exactly.
We're in the actually.
It's like
the
last chapter I'm working on.
So it won't be.
Well, should be done. Should be done this year. We were hoping to have volume 4 ready for Grand Rapids, but if we don't do the, I just saw it.
Dog just walked by. Yeah.
There you go. You can see the source of the barking. But yeah, we're hoping to get that done by the end of the year. So that's on track.
And all 3 of those volumes are available through Caliber?
Caliber just has volume 1 and 2 available right now. So if you want volume 3, we have the ones that we had published prior to Caliber.
How can they get a hold of that?
You just took my question.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
We don't have a storefront with our comics on it yet. That's definitely something we need to get going. Yeah. It's just a matter of all right, we need to take a Saturday and not, mess around doing whatever, playing video games. We need to get our storefront going. But the Caliber versions, you can get 1 and 2 on Amazon. They have them. If you do e-reader stuff, I think they're on Comixology now too, and they're on all kinds of different e-reader.
I think they just bumped into Comixology, and there was one other site too. I can't quite remember what it was.
I know what you're talking about because I was looking. They have almost the entire library of Caliber comics on there. So if you have a library card, you can read them that way too for free. So that's even
Have they been offered through Diamond at all?
Yeah. That's the Caliber ones are through Diamond.
Yeah,
Volume 1 and 2. Yep.
Okay.
We wanted to do the way the story is. It made more sense to have them as graphic novels instead of single issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We started to do that originally, but then we're
it just I don't know. It seemed more like a graphic novel format to me. It made more sense for the story than
Caliber's switched over solely to that format now anyway. Right?
Yeah, they don't do the single issues anyways. So yeah, I think
they call floppies anymore.
Yeah.
I think that the last floppy they did was the Shepherd.
Oh wow. Yeah, and that's Andrea's. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he might be self-publishing the floppies and letting Caliber
do the graphic. Yeah.
But which is a damn fine idea.
Yeah.
I do like what you guys have done. Lola, I'm sure you have. I'm sorry, I'm stepping all over you.
You're good.
You must have.
Oh no, you need to horn in and start asking questions.
Yeah.
Just tell us to shut up. You got questions. Just do it.
Tell Randy, shut up, damn it. But I know something that Lola's had to deal with at shows.
I deal with a lot.
When she's
and 3/4 of that's just variant.
Yeah. 3/4 of it is me. When you guys go to shows, though, as a husband and wife, a lot of people. I mean, like we've gone to you guys. Did you guys do C4, Traverse City?
That was our first show in
Yeah.
2015. We
Okay.
haven't gone back, but we want to. That's another one we'd
That's a
like
nice
to
show.
try
It's
again.
gotten bigger.
Yeah, we've
That's
gone
really
there. Like just attended. I think the year after that we
Mhm.
moved there, and it was way busier. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is crazy. So
The reason why I asked is because like I know that generally they have a exhibitor only party for artists.
Oh,
for
okay.
artists, and people used to get mad at me and Lola because we wouldn't do anything. We just go. We go to the party. We walk in. Hey, hi, we're leaving.
yeah.
And people used to get mad. Oh, they're antisocial.
Well, no.
And
What do they
They're
do? Like drink and
anti-drama.
party and stuff, or is it just?
well, yeah, there's an open
Yeah.
bar. It's free.
Okay.
It's free alcohol, and it's
Yeah,
a great thing, but it's a
it's great and terrible at the same
It gets
time.
out of hand.
Yeah.
I bet.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause Saturday
easily. Yeah.
Saturday morning, I'm like,
Yeah.
and then you start wondering how many because it's a drinking draw too.
Oh,
You
okay.
start wondering like, how many superheroes did I draw with huge bulges last night?
No,
The
yeah.
drunker I got, like this is
Yeah.
Captain America.
It seems to
Yeah.
be, you know, the drunker an artist gets, the more penises they draw.
Yeah. I mean, that
Hey,
makes
you know.
sense. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know if that's true with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all the parties I've gone to,
Yeah.
I usually tend to do really quick editorial cartoon sketches. That's,
Yeah.
but I suppose most would be penises.
I've been known to say this is Captain America wearing a shield, and he has a huge
Oh, yeah.
penis.
Yeah.
And then you think, thank you, Varian. I used to put out my name, Varian Grant. Here you go. Where's that going to again?
Yeah.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Oh,
I
no.
Oh boy.
should have considered that before.
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
you don't drink and draw.
Yeah, that's why I don't drink.
I've never done that, something like that. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm not a big drinker personally. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
probably would have like one drink and I would be fine, you know, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be going crazy drawing anything.
But 2 drinks and a little tequila. Oh boy.
Yeah, then it's like,
Things are getting
oh,
wild.
it's all
Amanda
over.
said she never draw a penis, but she
yeah.
lied.
I never said I've never drawn.
Yeah. She drew
Now
one.
people are gonna be like, "Oh, let's look up her
Search.
history." Yeah.
It was a jam piece, and she drew a
Mhm.
snaking penis behind
Mhm.
everyone else's artwork. It was.
I mean, I did go to school for college for art, so you know, there's lots of penises in art college stuff. Yeah.
But, professionally.
Yeah,
rendered
that's
penises.
true.
Yeah.
It's a little different one. It's like a life drawing class.
Yeah,
That's not
life
bad.
drawing class.
Yeah.
It was shaded properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no penises in Legends of Aukera.
No.
No,
No
unless you
penises.
snuck any in there.
No, I didn't sneak any in.
All right.
Nope.
I haven't noticed any
Yeah.
anyway. So.
I've snuck in not penises, but I've snuck in like little like if I'm reading I think I snuck in like a character in a book that I had been reading like in the background, and I snuck
A
in
game maybe that we're
a
playing.
video game
Yeah.
character or something. Just
Yeah.
not anything really like highly rendered or anything, but it's
Mhm.
like yeah, if you look, you can see them. Or if
I'm
you,
gonna look back through the book.
I think one like in the early volume, the volume 1, I drew Rory in there as like a cleric or something. I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put you in here. So, like, I know a lot of Kickstarter comics. They're like, if you back them like a big amount, they'll draw you as a character in the comic. I always thought that was cool. Like, if I ever did a Kickstarter, I'd be like, I'd totally want to do that. It'd be fun.
I'm in my pal's book, and he's got me in his book as a bad guy.
Nice.
I run a illegal bar, betting place.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible person in this series. I'm like, really? This
I'm gonna
was
make you the villain. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Wow. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't die, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'll make you a villain in my book. How about that?
Yeah.
Cut off people's heads.
Hmm?
You just cut off your friends' heads.
I do. I put on Facebook, like, who wants to die in a comic? And there's like a bunch of people.
big
I need
long
4
list.
people. And like there's like 8 people. Me. Like,
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
kill you all.
I know. Yeah, what kind of book am I writing here?
That's your
Somebody died.
sponsorship right there. I did a zombie book where we sold the cover for $100.
That's a good idea.
wow.
If you wanted to be on the cover, we can't guarantee, what would
Yeah.
happen. But
Yeah.
so cover number 1, we have a big vendor here in the area, Rick Santman. He's on the cover of The Dead number 1, and The Dead number 2 had a guy from Tennessee that sent us money and said, "Please tear me apart."
Nice.
So we have him literally being ripped limb from
Ripped
limb.
apart. Yeah.
On the
A
side.
zombie book would
That's
be
awesome.
a good one to
Yeah.
slip in people.
Yeah, it's like kill yourself for $100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Then you got books like Cash Grab. Has
Well, that's a whole nother story. So
they did a human centipede on the cover,
Oh.
and for what was it, $1,000? You got to
be in the front.
Oh God.
And somebody bought it.
People buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
It was 3,000.
I'd take $3,000.
They had a fight over who was actually going to be placed in the front because there was a group of them that bought it. So
Oh.
I'm not even sure who ended up there.
Oh.
That doesn't matter for this story.
So we want to thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Appreciate it. You are welcome to come back on Indie Vault or GeekGasm whenever. you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, anytime. Just get a hold of Varian.
Yeah.
We'd
Sure.
love to have you on often.
That would be awesome.
The status of your book, especially being local.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's cool. Thanks for having us.
And no problem. Everyone listening on Indie Vault Radio. Again, this is GeekGasm. And Lola, tell them when they can catch more GeekGasm at.
Suddenly you're running our show.
Yeah.
We're
it's
both
okay.
running our show.
No, GeekGasm comes on every Wednesday night at 9 p.m.
Booze. On my show. Then Indie Vault is every Tuesday night at 9, every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern
my
Standard
show.
Time, of course.
Where can we find more of you guys, though?
Well, we have our website, which is legendsofakera.com, which is the title of the comic, so that's pretty
Spell
easy.
that out. We probably should have had it running along
Oh.
the bottom banner. So,
Yeah, just hold up the book. It'll probably be easier.
Gonna make a banner.
There you go.
Can you see it? Yeah.
Right
That's our
there.
website. You can read the comic on there. We're on Facebook, same name, Legends
Under
of Aukera.
Legends of Aukera? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Instagram at Legends of Aukera and Twitter at Legends of Aukera. They were pretty
Awesome.
easy to find. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully like a store here soon so we can,
Yeah.
sell some stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. There, I see it. Oh,
There we go.
sweet. Yeah.
And you guys have
That's us unthinking. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. Should have had that running this whole time.
That's all good.
what how much is a book? Like if someone wants to purchase it, because you said they can read it online,
hmm
but are there any price differences between the digital version and the physical?
I think there are some
Yeah,
price
it's-
differences.
I think the digital, if you buy it on Amazon, I haven't looked recently. It's probably like
Yeah.
$8 or something
Oh, you should
around
know
there.
your-
You know your prices.
I
You
know,
should.
I know
You
our
should.
price. Like if you go to if we're at a con and you buy a book at the con, you can
Yeah.
get them. They're $15.
Yeah, we
piece,
sell them for 15
so.
at the cons.
It's
So-
a little cheaper
Yeah.
than
That's a
buying it
physical
through
copy
Amazon.
that you get to keep for
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
and there's
And
extras
get
in there.
autographed.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna
Like,
get
Come
yeah,
hang
that
out
signed.
with us.
Yeah, and for the ones that we publish, we have just like extra goodies in there. Like the first one has like a pinup, like
Just
old
like-
school. There's like a sketchbook thing with like old sketches that I did. Maps, like
Yeah.
city, like maps of the city that
Little
it's set
story.
in, and there's a little extra mini comic, but I think that's the Caliber
Yeah, I
one
think
too.
it is.
Yeah, that Rory does all the
Yeah.
maps and stuff, so
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
a lot
cool.
of fun.
If it's
Yeah.
not people, I can draw it
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah,
I don't draw people.
yeah.
I did get a question from a repeat listener writer in her.
Oh, nice.
His
Yeah.
name is L.
Contributor.
Nolan.
Yeah. El Nolan.
And L wants to know, he says, you changed the name of the book. He wants to know, if there was a movie, which name would you prefer it to go by? Not just that, who would you want to direct the movie?
Oh God, I never even thought
Man,
about
that's
that.
a tough one.
I'd probably leave it as Legends of Aukera: The Ascendance. I think that was a good change.
Yeah.
Or, it just makes it more cohesive, I guess. A director though, like, oh geez.
I don't know.
I think it would be better as like an animation.
Yeah,
the art style, how I draw is more animation looking than like live action.
Mhm.
I think it'd lend itself to that. I don't know if you like. It'd be sweet if it was like the Castlevania animation on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're way into that. Like that's awesome. So something like that. Like I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like a Peter Jackson kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're huge Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
nerds.
Rings was big.
That changed our lives.
yeah,
Like, oh my god, seeing that on the big screen. Yeah, life changing.
I could see that for the book.
Something super epic like that would be awesome. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that. That's why I got you here.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Throw an idea around in there.
I think I'm the only person that has Randy's probably going to shake his head at me, but I'm the only person that, I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to end the show on a controversial note. In terms of animation, I think that Disney is like second place when it comes to animation under Don Bluth.
Okay, so that's like the Wait, who is that? That's the That's the Five Goes West guy, isn't it?
That's how young they are. That's how they don't know Don Bluth. Secret of Nim.
Oh
okay.
Yeah.
Don Bluth is like, I just love the way he made characters move. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the flow to his stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think
Nothing compares to Studio Ghibli though.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
that's why Disney come in and bought the rights for all the cartoons.
Yeah.
So they're not shown here in the States except for on very rare occasions.
Yeah.
So don't compare them to art stuff. Just these guys are good.
Yeah. There's nothing that compares to that. Yeah, I agree.
I just think Don Bluth is awesome. Like my favorite movie is the Chipmunk Adventure.
Yeah.
It's
been a long time. But
What other ones? That I don't know. I don't think I've seen Secret of Nim. If I had,
you need to sit.
Pretty good.
That's a good movie.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, don't watch the second one.
Fun.
Don't watch the second one. Okay.
Was there a second one?
I can't say I've seen the second one.
The second.
It sounds like a bad idea.
Though. Yeah, it is. It's a bad idea. The first one is nice and self-contained. They also did an adaptation of Anastasia, didn't they?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
I know that one.
Was that Anastasia? Was that Don Bluth for Disney?
That wasn't Disney.
It was Bluth if it was anybody.
Okay. Yeah.
That one was good. Yeah.
He makes characters move. He has a fluidity to it. Well, anyway, Lola, anything you want to finish saying?
Thanks, guys, again for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. It was lots of fun. And thank you to all our listeners on Indie Volt Radio. And like I said before, you can catch me on GeekGasm every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And I will also be on Indie Volt Live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m.
You guys are busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't do the morning show, though.
No, I don't blame you.
She doesn't get up.
Yeah.
I get the kid off to school and I go back to bed.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I get it.
So we're going to go off air here, and we want to thank you all for watching. You guys can hang out for a while if you want to. We just go off air for everyone listening. All right, guys, that has been a Indie Volt production.
Special edition of GeekGasm.
Special edition of GeekGasm, an Indie Volt production. We're not owned by Disney yet, but we are available. See you guys next Wednesday.
Take it, Lola.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks.